right. Hello, Ryan. Hope you're doing well today.
I'm doing well, thank you, Cara. How are you?
Good, thanks. All good to jump straight into this one?
Looking forward to it.
Wonderful. Okay, so welcome everyone. We're imagining that there are a number of people in this training session today. Ethics in the workplace is essential for building trust, accountability, and fairness. And at the New South Wales Department of Education, ethical behaviour ensures fair hiring, transparent decision-making, and a positive work culture. Ethics is not just about following rules, it's about fostering respect, fairness, and integrity in every action we take. For example, imagine a hiring panel member selects a candidate based on a personal relationship rather than merit. This compromises fairness, goes against public sector hiring guidelines, and damages trust in the recruitment process. So unethical decisions like these can lead to legal risks, staff disengagement, and reputational damage for the department. So as we go through this session, I'd like you to reflect on how ethical behaviour impacts your daily responsibilities. HR plays a critical role in setting and maintaining ethical standards. Today, we'll cover the code of conduct, employee responsibilities, confidentiality, leadership, expectations, and handling unethical behaviour. So at this point, I'd like you to move into a breakout room, and the person I've assigned you with, I'd like you to discuss the question that I've put there on the screen. Have you ever observed or experienced an ethical dilemma at work? How was it handled? And what could have been done differently? I'm going to give you 5 minutes to have this quick discussion with the person I've assigned you with in the breakout room, and then we'll return and share key insights. Okay, great. We've just come back from the breakout room. Okay, wonderful. I'm hoping that you are able to identify something that you've experienced in the workplace and that you are able to share with someone and learn about how they've handled it and what could possibly be done differently. And it's really important that we use this ability to self-reflect and continually refine and improve so that we are building that ethical workplace in our department. So the New South Wales Public Sector Code of Conduct is a critical framework that sets the ethical and professional standards for all employees. I'm sure you're familiar with it and you've completed the mandatory training on the Code of Conduct. It ensures that every decision we make aligns with fairness, integrity, and transparency. The Code of Conduct plays a role in recruiting and selection, ensuring that hiring decisions are merit-based and free from bias. With onboarding and training, it introduces new staff to expected workplace behaviours. For performance management, it provides guidelines for fair and consistent employee evaluations. And for employee relations, it supports a respectful and inclusive work environment. So let's consider an example. A school principal hires a personal friend for an admin role without advertising the position. This violates merit-based recruitment principles, leading to staff dissatisfaction and possible legal consequences. When employees follow the Code of Conduct, they contribute to a workplace culture of trust and accountability. Let's take an opportunity now to discuss further. How does the Code of Conduct influence your daily decisions? And what steps do you take to ensure ethical workplace behaviour? I'd like you now to move into a breakout room with someone new and discuss these questions. Wonderful. Okay, we've just come back from that breakout session and we are now having a look at the employee responsibility in adhering to the Code of Conduct. So every employee plays a vital role in upholding ethical standards. This means acting with integrity, treating colleagues with respect, and speaking up when misconduct occurs. Likely in the scenarios that you were discussing further, you've been able to identify how important it is to have discussions about when misconduct occurs. Ethical behaviour is not just about avoiding wrongdoing, it's about creating a positive work culture. So consider this scenario. A teacher overhears a colleague making discriminatory remarks about a student, but chooses not to report it. By ignoring the situation, the issue continues. and the student feels alienated and unsupported by the staff at the school. When we fail to act, we enable misconduct and weaken our workplace culture and the environment for our students. To prevent this, the New South Wales Education has reporting channels that allow employees to report unethical behaviour confidentially and without fear of retaliation. It's important that we don't ignore unethical conduct because this can lead to disciplinary action, loss of trust, and a damage to the department's reputation. To maintain ethical standards, employees must know how to report unethical behaviour through HR or official complaint channels, understand whistleblower protections, ensuring safety for those who speak up. Be accountable for their actions, as inaction enables wrongdoing. So let's have a discussion about this now. We've all participated in the Code of Conduct training and our reporting of misconduct training. So let's have a review of what we've learned in previous training. What steps can you take if you witness unethical behaviour? And what barriers prevent employees from reporting conduct? We're now going to move into two major breakout rooms where we'll split our training session into two halves where we can explore these questions further. Okay, great. We've just come back from those breakout discussions. So, ethical workplaces rely on strong policies to protect employees and maintain fairness. The New South Wales Department of Education ensures anti-discrimination and harassment policies to prevent workplace misconduct. Whistleblower protection ensures employees can report unethical behaviour without fear of retaliation. Without enforcement, these policies lose meaning. So ethical failures like ignoring harassment complaints erode trust and morale. It's essential that leaders and employees know, follow, and enforce these policies. The HR team plays a critical role in ensuring compliance, providing training, and addressing complaints fairly. So if you ever have any questions about these policies, you can reach out to us. Policies provide clear guidelines on ethical workplace behaviour. The New South Wales Department of Education enforces anti-discrimination and harassment policies, ensuring equal treatment for all staff and students, whistleblower protections, safeguarding those who report misconduct, and workplace integrity policies, which define professional behaviour expectations. So, for example, a staff member reports sexual harassment, but their complaint is dismissed as a misunderstanding. This employee feels unsupported, morale drops, and they leave the department. Failure to enforce policies damage trust and reputation. So now I'd like you to turn to your partner and discuss, how do you ensure policies are applied fairly? How can you contribute in that way? And what challenges exist in enforcing policies consistently? All right, I'm going to imagine we've just gone off to a breakout room. We've discussed these, and I've picked a few people to share some of their examples. The next area I'd like us to explore is confidentiality handling and handling sensitive information. Confidentiality is a fundamental responsibility in any workplace, and especially at the New South Wales Department of Education, where we handle student records, employee files, payroll details, and HR investigations. A breach of confidentiality can erode trust and lead to legal consequences and damage the organisation's reputation. To maintain confidentiality, we must limit access. Sensitive information should only be accessible to authorised personnel. We need to have secure data storage. We need to use password-protected systems, encrypted files, and locked cabinets for storing confidential documents. We need to follow organisational policies and ensure compliance with privacy laws, IT security protocols, and HR confidentiality agreements. And we need to be cautious in conversations and avoid discussing sensitive matters in public areas, emails, or unsecured messaging platforms. You will be familiar with this. Sometimes you require information that is confidential and you need to go through the appropriate channels to access that information. And we know that we have to change our passwords and our access, and we have to complete regular IT training to make sure that we're up to date and being secure with the information that we have. So let's explore another example. A payroll officer accidentally emails salary details to an unauthorized staff member. This could breach. This breach could lead to workplace conflict, employee dissatisfaction, and even disciplinary action. Proper training and double-checking recipient details can prevent such incidents. So let's discuss, how do you protect confidential information in your role, and what measures can you take to safeguard sensitive data? We're going to break out into one-on-one breakout rooms again, and I'll have you share that information with a new person this time. Great, we've just come back, and I'd invite different people to step forward and share an example that they discussed with the person next to them. Leadership expectations. So, leaders play a critical role in shaping ethical workplace culture. Employees look to leadership for guidance, fairness, and decision-making transparency. If leaders fail to address ethical concerns, it can lead to workplace distrust, increased misconduct, and reputational damage. Ethical leadership means setting an example. Leaders must model ethical behaviour in their decisions and actions. Promoting transparency. Employees should understand why decisions are made and trust they are fair. Of course, understanding why sometimes means being careful about what you can share in a confidential scenario. We should encourage open communication. Ethical workplaces allow employees to raise concerns without fear. And taking immediate action. When misconduct is reported, leaders must act promptly and fairly. So let's explore another example. A principal notices a staff member regularly excluding an Indigenous student from classroom activities but does nothing. By failing to intervene, the leader permits discrimination to persist. Instead, they should address the behaviour, reinforce inclusive policies, and ensure fairness for all students. So let's have another discussion about this topic area. How can leaders actively promote ethical conduct in the workplace? And what are some ways to ensure fair and transparent decision-making? You may not yet be a leader yourself, but you may draw upon some examples that you've witnessed from a leader in your workplace. We'll go into larger breakout rooms. I'm going to put you into a room of about 3 or 4 people, and I'd like a couple of you to share your ideas. We might not have enough time for everybody to contribute, but I'm going to give you 5 minutes in this breakout room now. Great, we've just come back, and I hope you've learned or heard about some interesting ways that leaders can actively promote ethical conduct. And maybe you've got some ideas for yourself that you can implement in the future. So our next section is about the process for handling unethical behaviour. Handling ethical behaviour effectively requires a transparent, structured, and supportive process. Employees need to feel safe reporting concerns without fear of retaliation. New South Wales Education has clear reporting mechanisms, ensuring ethical concerns are addressed fairly and promptly. The process includes reporting mechanisms where employees can report unethical behaviour via HR, direct managers, or via anonymous channels. We have a fair investigation process. HR gathers evidence, interviews reliant parties, and ensures due process. We have corrective action. If misconduct is confirmed, disciplinary actions may include warnings, additional training, or even termination. Non-retaliatory environment is what we hope for in the New South Wales Department, and we promote. Employees must be protected from backlash when reporting concerns. So let's have a look at another example. A teacher reports workplace bullying to HR, but no action is taken. Bullying continues, and the teacher feels forced to leave. Had HR conducted a fair investigation and taken corrective action, this situation could have been resolved effectively, and we could have retained our valuable staff in our schools. So let's have a discussion now about how we can improve reporting processes in our workplace and what barriers may exist that prevent employees from reporting misconduct. Great. We're going to move into another breakout room, and I'd imagine we'd come back from that. And I'd now invite a few people to share their ideas. So, thank you all for your participation in today's session on business ethics and HR practices. We've covered the code of conduct, employee responsibilities, leadership expectations, confidentiality, and handling unethical behaviour. I'm hoping you've gained a lot from sharing some practical examples and experiences that you've had in the workplace, and that you've gained some ideas and some practical solutions that you can implement today. More importantly, we've discussed how we can make these changes to help shape our organisation. Ethical behaviour isn't just about following policies, it's about creating a positive, fair, and inclusive work environment every day. Each of us plays a role in upholding integrity, whether you're in HR, you're in a leadership role, or administration. Your decisions impact students, staff, and the reputation of the New South Wales Department of Education. So before we leave today, I'd like you to take one last moment to speak with someone in a small breakout room as a final discussion. And I'd like you to share one action or step that you're going to take to commit today to help promote ethical behaviour in your workplace. At this point, I'd allow that chatter. We'd come back. I'd ask someone what they're going to do differently, and we'd conclude this session today. So thank you, Ryan, for attending. It would have been great if we had some more people that we could promote those discussions with. If you have any questions for me, please reach out.
Thank you, Cara.
Okay, bye.